Welcome to the astrology forecast for Leo, Sun, Moon, and Rising, November 2026. Week by week, we're going to break it down and get a look at that big picture. Some stuff's going on with your home and your finances that looks pretty intense, but also positive. Thank you to this beautiful grand trine. And there's a lunation that opens up new doors of opportunity and success in the area of your chart that is your career. We're going to break down all the details in a week-by-week way as we go ahead, and welcome to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Lori Lothian. I'm using the Western Tropical Zodiac, whole sign houses, and of course, fixed stars and minor asteroids are always in the journey of my astrology. I am also here to help you time your best life in 2026, if you're interested in grabbing my 2026 2 to 2.5 hour individual videos for each separate sign. Those are on pre-sale price right now, delivered to your inbox December 1st, or my yearly fundraiser for equipment like this new MacBook Pro. And now I'm putting together a little scholarship fund to help people who can't afford my classes or my readings get into those situations with me, because I have a little slush fund that you guys help me raise. I would really appreciate that. If you're into helping other people learn astrology or have readings that don't have enough money, that's also part of what I'll use some of the fundraising for. And this is my 6-year fundraising every year. In the fall, the product is never going to be at this low price, and I'm only fundraising this all signs bundle of 12 signs. Perfect gift for friends and family. You can also use it for your sun, moon, and rising, and so you get a lot of value there. Individual signs will come out for sale in December. So guys, the thing about this the story here for you is getting down with some very interesting and rare energy that last happened in the late 1800s. And that is that you have this beautiful trine between Jupiter in your 12th house and the North Node as it travels through the sign of Pisces, which for you is going to open up this kind of deeper spiritual quest, where Pisces is your 8th house. And that kind of part of the sky leads itself to its spiritual enlightenment or awakening or insights. We call these moksha energies. So there's a big picture story that you can use this for money and changing your home and going back to school. There's all kinds of ways you can use this, but it also is important to understand that doors of spiritual enlightenment are a way to see through the egoic self that makes you unhappy and move beyond that, is what this guy can also offer you in November. Okay, so it's not just about the mundane. You have a very spiritual, rare, once in a lifetime water trine playing through your sky. And let's go ahead and share the screen for you. And we're going to go to, does that share? I think it did. Yes, it did. Perfect. So I hope that my Fathom note taker, again, wasn't acting up and just putting me, me talking to you, but with this note taker. I don't know why that's activated again. Waiting for attendees to join. Really? Okay, so we'll see if I can go back and watch this video and see what's going on with that. All right, so Leo, here's what I have for you. You are in a situation as we begin the month, we're doing week by week, where you're noticing Jupiter trine Saturn, but it's not for just the beginning of the month. It's for the entire month. And Jupiter is going to retrograde and Saturn will go direct this month, and we'll get to that. And that means that you're in this perpetual flow. And this is money that you don't earn. And this is backroom deals and negotiations, for example. This is hospitals, and this is money you don't earn. This is retirement energies. So there's something going on that really can open up financial abundance. I hate to say that this can also be legacy wealth from the inheritance from an elder family member passing, particularly a grandparent under the sky or great-grandparent. But there is something about some chunks of money opening up for you this month ahead. And this is true for the entire month of November. Or an opportunity to sell your property or get profits and gains from selling land or a property or a home. And the energy is just gorgeous for all of that. If you're in a divorce settlement or you're thinking of going that way, like separating, that also loves you up and gives you success in getting your entitlements in a separation situation with a significant spouse type person. All of those are ongoing all month long. Okay, I want to say all month long. All month long is all month long. And I'm on October 31st, but here we are, November 1st. Now, you'll notice that also Venus is squaring Jupiter as the month begins. And for the first 3 or 4 days, you're feeling this tension between what is desirable and brings you pleasure and what is wise and what is true. And it could indicate some changes in your life that require travel abroad, and it's travel abroad connected to opportunities, but you're also healing a chironic wound in the ninth house. The ninth house has many meanings. It could be a wounded third marriage, your third long-term committed monogamous love story that's been wounded since 2018 and now 19, I should say. And now Venus is trying to fix the problem from her home kingdom in Libra, and Jupiter is assisting her like with a scalpel. Let's fix this wound in this third long-term love story. And if it's not that, then you could also have this, again, a healing of a chironic wound to do with travel to far off places or education. Jupiter in your 12th house to next July commonly gets people to find a guru, but if not a guru, then you're going to go back to school or educate yourself in a new direction. And Venus would say skills-based learning, like something that you can use. So I'm going to learn how to do this so that I can make money. So it's not just frivolous. So there's this sense of that opening up some possibilities for you in the first week of November. And you might feel it's a little tense, but you're going to take some time to ponder, is this what I want? On November 4th or so, to the 6th, Mars will cross into Scorpio. And as he does, well, he is in Scorpio. On November 4th to the 6th, Mars will cross out of Scorpio into Sagittarius. And that's going to be very intense energy. And it's for the world, it's very intense, but for you, it's personal. So there's something going on here. Let's talk about Mars just briefly, right? Mars, September 22nd, moved into the sign of Scorpio, and he was in your 4th house. You might have had moving out of the house. Someone moved out of the house. You had fights in the house. There was things you had to repair in the house. You might have had floods that needed to be repaired in the house. Hot water tank needed to be repaired, whatever. Mars was at the bottom of the sky. You could have slipped and hurt yourself, or hot water burns in the house. This is Mars, September 22nd. Now he's out on November 4th. And as he crosses out of that 4th house, he is going to open up a door to shock and surprise and unexpected developments, Uranus. However, Uranus up here may be about things to do with your career profitability, your friends and social groups. This does bring windfalls. Mars is competitive and Mercury is a ticket. It's possible you might find yourself in the possession of what feels like a lucky break because you entered some competitive state, and sometimes gambling is competitive. I got the winning ticket. I had to beat the other tickets, but there can be something like that. It's just a little flash in the pan, but it's not a bad one for buying a ticket. For example, and for a lottery or something around November the 4th, 5th, and 6th. But there's also the element of the unexpected or the surprising. And whatever that unexpected, surprising stuff is, I cannot tell you. It is whatever it will be, and you shall see. This is a story that comes off of a longer story of Mars-Uranus conjunction in July of 2024. So it's a part of a larger narrative. So seeds were planted for you to have some windfalls and greater career gains back in 2024 and change your social groups and circles up as well. And now there's some pivotal turning point moment here around those themes. And finally, your children are the 5th house. And if you were arguing with kids in the home, which Mars could have done when he was traveling through your 4th house, now that he's in the house of your children, there may be an information news coming from one of your children that shocks or surprises you. And Mars rules the house of grandchildren. So it could be finding out you're going to be a grandparent if you're of that age. Now, let's keep going and talk about the next narrative. It is going to be a moon at November 5th at 13 degrees of Taurus. That's right up in the top of your sky, and it's full. And full moons bring fulfillment, sometimes completion, sometimes like the harvest or the ripening of what you planted 6 months earlier. And it's an exalted moon. And it's like you want to really shine that light on your career, your reputation, what you're doing in the world. And you want to fulfill something that you wanted to create 6 months earlier. And so that's what that is. This is a very exciting moon for you in a lot of ways, because it is coming off of a time where you have had Jupiter sort of backroom deals guy, like really watching out for you. And it's possible this is a golden career opportunity increase, but it's going to take up to 6 months for this to show you its full face. So don't expect on the day of the full moon, November 5th, to know what everything's about. Maybe in the 2 weeks that follow, you'll see some fulfillment of something in your career that really is what you want. And it's really something that you're happy to receive. And it could increase your financial gain through chunks of money, like a bonus check, a commission check, a performance review check, something like that. And you'll see that be true within 6 months after this moon. All right. On this second week of the month, the 7th to the 14th, we have a few things happening, particularly to do with planetary shifts. So let's start off with a simple one. Venus squares Pluto. Now, that's power and love in a boxing ring. And, there is some issue going on. It can be a disagreement with a spouse or a significant person in your life regarding pleasure in the home, finances connected to the home, abundance and prosperity in the home. There's some kind of issue going on here around that time. It may involve concerns about mortgages, loans, banking, home, taxes as well. Let me just try and see 8th house. And Jupiter's eyeballing it, trying to support it, but he's not as strong as he could be yet at this time. So you might have like a financial hiccup, and it may involve a legal contract as well, or your marriage partner. It's short-lived. It doesn't last, but you'll feel it most intensely, say November 6th and 7th. Now, on November the 9th, we're going to watch the fact that Uranus is moving 9th. Is it the 7th? On November the 7th, Uranus is moving back into Taurus. He has been in Taurus since 2018 May, more or less, full-time since February or March of 2019. It was a retrograde thing. And what this is saying to me is that you're having to finish the grand finale of unfinished business. I've done this video on my channel already. Go watch it. And the grand finale for each sign is about your career. You've had unexpected changes in your career. You've had erraticness. You've had boom bust. You've had wild swings of changing the type of work you do. And don't forget, it starts in 2018. My Leo son's sister retired from 30 years of nursing in 2018 and became a Reiki healer, right? Total departure. So you have been having this, you could have gotten online, more digital, more internet related business. You might have had sudden surges and downdrafts in your career success. Now, this is a last chance to really refine what that whole story was about. And you've got until next April 29th, where you have this planet Uranus back in your 10th house. Expect the unexpected. Surprises coming in your career for sure, but they're probably positive for the simple reason that Jupiter in Cancer through to next July is flowing to Uranus, making sure these are exciting and so somewhat positive developments, even if they're unexpected. Also, on November the 11th, Jupiter will head retrograde on Remembrance Day. And he is Mr. Santa Claus goodie bag, but he's already subtle and he's already calmly offline a little bit. You can hardly see him from your first house identity. Rising sign is your simulation avatar, sun is your career, moon is your home base matters, for example. So he's offside, or he's 12 houses from your Leo placement. And you're really going to say to yourself, something shifted, but it's so soft, I can hardly tell. He was really pushing the narrative for you regarding things to do with spiritual awakening, deep truth, learning, studying, aligning with purpose, maybe. He was in that mode actively, and now he's kind of calming down, going inward. This is a really good time for you to spend solitude and time alone, starting on the 7th of November till next March 11th, in the company of truth and wisdom, whether that's a guru, a teacher, an online teacher, your own introspection, reflection of your life. Jupiter is helping you go deeper into who you really are, so that what you really want to do with that is do things in the world that reflect your truer, deeper self. And so there's Jupiter here that is going to retrograde. If you have teachers, gurus, or guides from your past, especially far off shores and lands, then you're probably going to see them again, or they're going to come back into your life. Okay, so that's a story. November the 11th through the 13th, Mercury will crash headlong into Mars. Let's talk about that. Mercury and Mars. Mars is going forward. Mercury's going backwards. What happened? Mercury, as the month started, was at 3 Sag, had already entered there last month, your 5th house of children, romance, etc. And then he turned around changed his mind around November 10th and said, I got to go back. I'm going in the wrong direction. I'm not sure what I really want. And then he backtracks, and he's going to be backtracking across the boundary to your 4th house again. All right, 4th house. I'll be doing a separate video on this to really negotiate things to do with property, land, and real estate. He's going to have to go back there, and children and your spouse. He's going to go back there November 19th. And he will not be back into your 5th house for quite a while. I have that cheat sheet somewhere, but I don't know what I did with it. November 19th to December 12th, he's back in your fourth house. So a lot of stuff going on with your property, land, real estate, purchase, sale, buy, people living with you, what you're trying to arrange. Okay, that's going to happen. Yes, November 19th to December 12th. But when he's retrograding here, he's still in your fifth house with kids and romance and creativity and entrepreneurship. And he crashes into Mars, and they literally are bumping straight into each other. And that's news or information. Something is going to be spoken, said, information will be released November 11th to 13th. You'll feel it. And it may be your kid making an announcement. I'm moving out. It may be your child, if it's an older child, having a conflict in their life and telling you about it. And it may be a major turning point in something you're doing creatively, artistically, or entrepreneurially. You're making a new decision based on some information. You're going to go in a different direction. If you're going to win a lottery ticket, you might find out that's the day you find out you won. That could be that story as well. And, we can't really tell you what it is. If you're in a romantic relationship with a lover, not necessarily just a spouse, but dating or romance and sex, there's an information announcement energy here coming through in that relationship, some divulgence, some information. And because it also squares the house of secrets, it may be something you weren't expecting being told to you by your person. Okay. Then we're going to move into the next week, which is going to be the 14th of November. Oh, yeah, the 14th of November to the 21st. So first of all, the sun trines Jupiter as we begin that story. So here's the sun, and it's going to move into a trine to Jupiter. And that's always golden opportunity energy. And it's golden opportunity to with distant shores, foreign lands, backroom deals and negotiations connected to property, land, home, and real estate. And with the North Node in the eighth house, really good for mortgages and lending and buying and escrow and selling. So if something goes on here that looks very positive, if you just want to move your home or change your home, and Venus would say maybe move in with a female or have a female live with you, and there's golden opportunities for that to occur at this time. Saturn rules your house of rentals as well. An ideal rental property may emerge if you're looking to change your home, and you'll find that information true and accurate 15th to the 17th of November. On November the 17th or so, we see Mercury sextiling Pluto. That's because Mercury tracks back to 1 degree or 0 degrees of Sag right here on November 17th and talks to Pluto. Well, it's quite a positive energy most times, but Mercury retrograde might not be ready to seal a deal, but a legal contract to do with creativity, the arts, a legal contract that might want to be formed is quite well with a wealthy, powerful person connected to creativity and the arts. Mercury here has a very short, time to flashpoint whatever this is, just on the 17th. And then he's back in that fourth house. The fifth house of the gains of the fourth. If you have an offer on the table to sell a property of some or land, then this is literally that moment where Mercury says, here's how much you can get from the buyer, Pluto in your seventh. And now he's going to go back to the fourth to really ponder whether that's a deal he wants to take. Okay. That's just an example. Or one of your children is going to make an announcement about their significant other and their relationship, or something like that. All right. On November the 19th, we have two things happening at once. We have a new moon in Scorpio, and we have Mercury trining Neptune. So Mercury trining Neptune. There's Neptune. Yay. There's Mercury moving all the way down to your fourth house, where he'll be till December 12th. A lot of conversations and negotiations about the home life. But this positive energy is important. First of all, just as a general principle, this is really good for fine-tuning your psychic ability. What Neptune is like I talk to dead people, I channel archangels. So you're in tune. Your dreams at night are very important. Your being alone at home at night in the midnight hour in your private life is a highly receptive, intuitive place for you. Okay. You can do a vision board, for example. You can make things happen here. You can try to manifest even through your power of your mind. And that is November the 19th. But at the same time, it could be conversations, negotiations, and deals regarding property purchase, buying, and selling, for example. And Mercury's got his finger on the illusion, but Neptune retrograde is not so foggy. He's pulling back the fog, and Mercury retrograde means this is not something new. You had an idea this could happen. It's on the table. Is it a yes or no? Well, we'll see what happens. And maybe something going on with one of your in-laws, your people on the your spouse, if you have a spouse, something going on with their family, and it connects to legacy wealth, property, inheritances as well. All right. The moon is new. It's at November 19th at 28 degrees of Scorpio. It's a fresh start and a new beginning. And it indicates that you on November 19th are starting to plant a seed. And because you also have Mercury here, it could indicate that over the course of 6 months that follow, there is an agenda for a transfer of money, to sell a house, to receive legacy wealth through inheritances, to negotiate those sorts of things. Now, with Venus here, and she's in a condition of lack of dignity, she's not in her happy sign. There may be some stories going on with a change in your home connected to a sibling, one younger than you. And so I want you to keep that in mind as well. She rules your third house. So a changing of the guard and where you live connected to a younger sibling. And that's what I could say could happen. You know, with Venus here, you know, she's pulled away from the career space where she loves to be up at the top of the sky in your Taurus career house. And she's busy dealing with the dark private hour, personal domestic life. It's not our happy place, right? Not where she wants to be, but it may be involving one of your children as well. She's ruled by Mars in the house of children. And again, property matters and children and money all intertwined as well. So the new moon is a new seed that plants a story that unfolds over 6 months in relation to the themes I just outlined for you. We have a Cazimi. Mercury will enter the heart of the sun from his retrogradation. This is very magical, very synchronistic, and powerful. He's going in on about the 20th to the sun's heart. Well, it depends exactly when your time zone is. 19th, 20th. This is almost midnight in Pacific Coast time. He's in the heart of the sun. I'm doing a free webinar. Please check it out in my description box below. Just come join me. There's a limited number of spaces. So if you don't get in, I can't do that. I'm not taking more than a certain number of people because I don't want to up my Zoom plan. But if you want to get in, there's a replay available as well. I want to teach you how to use this very beautiful, beautiful Mercury in the heart of the sun. Divine headquarters is talking. You can activate something powerful because it's in a grand water trine. So this energy is happening. Information or news about secrets about your family of origin, about inheritance monies, about shared spousal resources, about your in-laws, about property buying, selling, and purchasing. All of that is in the air in a kind of news broadcast way. Information is being revealed to you both inwardly and outwardly in your dreams, but also in the real world. Phone call, text messages on November 19th, 20th. Now, the very last week of the month for you, Leos, is the same for everybody. It's one long story in multiple little itsy bitsy parts. And that is the last week is all about the grand water trine. So we start to see that picking up. Here we are on the 20th. And this is the triangle that we're talking about. And the sun is holding the triangle very briefly here about the 19th and 20th, shining light in the midnight hour. And that sometimes feels hard. Maybe you're not sleeping so well every Scorpio season, but then the sun moves on. And it's in the house of your kiddos and your love and romance. But here, Mercury then picks up the triangle and takes over. And this is a beautiful energy because Jupiter is exalted and really holding fort on this energy. And so we might say something like the very last week of the month is flow, ease, and grace. It does connect to property, inheritance, real estate, loans, mortgages, refinancing, selling and buying, inheritances, spousal support, or money from your in-laws, and connections to luck and karmic luck. Jupiter in your 12th house is like all your good karmic merit, the treasure chest of good merit of good lives lived is coming back to roost. You're having luck based on past lives and karmic conditions that don't come from this time frame. So lucky breaks are here for you as well. And this is continuing onward because as we move forward, you're going to watch Venus then come into the place of holding the water trine for us. Look at her go. And as she gets closer to holding it, she now, first of all, this is like information and news that's positive coming to you. And it's also contracts, phone calls, and agreements. And you'll see that happening around November 24th. And I gave you all the themes before: loans, mortgages, inheritance, buy, sell. Then Venus is going to be at 24 degrees, golden luck, flowing between Jupiter, two poor disabled Venus and Scorpio. It's like he's going to try to pick her up off the ground. I mean, the worst case is you're having floods in the home, by the way, so be careful. But Jupiter's like, gotcha, it's okay. It's going to work out. And so something really wants to resolve here for you. And again, it could involve a sibling one younger than you. It could involve some career matters that you need to finally make decisions on. And it could involve one of your children because of Mars. Okay. And then finally, we move here and she comes to the end of the month, and we're going to be on the 28th, 29th, around that time. She's going to be absolutely activating an unexpected surprise. It connects to home and property and land and private life. It connects to your career and reputation. And it connects in a positive way to chunky money, inheritances, tax rebates, insurance payouts. It's a surprise, but it has positivity because of the flow to the 8th house. If a secret is spilled about your family of origin, like mom and dad and up the line that you didn't know about, that's very possible with Mercury and Venus together here. But it's very healing and brings new steadfast and long-term positive directions for you because this has happened. So don't fret. And then, of course, on November 30th, she moves into the 5th house. We'll be covering that story next week. All right. Next month. Don't forget to like and subscribe and hit that notification bell so you don't miss a thing. Don't forget to check out my 2026 All Signs bundle. Friends, family, stocking stuffers, a mere $44. That price will never happen again. It's regularly $66. It's a pre-sale price. I deliver the product to your inbox as a PDF. As a PDF guidebook, but with a link to the unlisted videos. And that's for you if you want to buy the bundle. I hope you will. I really enjoy making this as a fundraiser every year. And I'll see you maybe on the free Mercury retrograde webinar on the 19th of November. Everyone have a great month. Ciao, ciao.